In 2023, North Carolina let us all down, finishing 8-5 on the season. Preseason predictions, ACC championship contenders, everything came falling down as the Tar Heels ended 8-5. So what about this year? Are we still optimistic? Is there still a bright future on the horizon? Well, it's time to find out, because it's time to pick the 2024 UNC football season. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? The Heel brothers are here, Nathan and Alan. Good evening, sir. Are you excited to pick the UNC football 24 schedule, man?
Yeah, I'm in 12-0. Yeah, let's go.
0-12. Good God, already. I hear you, brother. Jesus. Well, that answers the question I asked in the very beginning of the video here. With the are we optimistic, or are we looking hopeful? I guess you're not so much. You're on the very pessimistic side
today. I had one of them senior moments. You know, I got my numbers mixed up.
Oh, okay. Seems to be happening a lot these days. Are you all right, man? You doing good over there?
Yeah, I'm fine, man.
Just want to make sure you just your well-being. You're my brother. A little bit older brother.
Plenty of hydration. Yeah, so
yeah, there you go. I don't know what's in the other cup. I know it's in the Gatorade bottle, but I don't know what's in the other cup.
Sweet tea.
Brown Kool-Aid is what they call that. I think. I think in today's nature, man.
So good.
Yeah.
From Pizza Hut too.
Dude, we got a North Carolina football schedule getting ready to kick off right here in 2 weeks from the day that we are recording Thursday, August 15th, and looking forward to getting started with the North Carolina football season. All right, Alan, August 29th, 8 p.m. our time, 7 p.m. Minnesota time. North Carolina kicks off the season inside of Minnesota. We're going to be doing a live watch party for that. It's going to be
watch party
for the first time ever that me and you have both done a live watch party. That's going to be super fun, by the way, in case you're new to the channel and you want to watch that with us. You absolutely can. But August 29th, North Carolina takes that trip. First trip up there to Minnesota. Hopefully they'll be staying away from the Minnesota Fair and everything else, because we know it can get absolutely crazy over there. So, does North Carolina come out with a win on that?
No. Does North Carolina come out with a win? You got the State Fair. You got a crowded stadium. You got 2 new defensive coordinators. You got 2 brand new quarterbacks. 2 people in a watch party watching the Tar Heels. Hits. We'll win.
You're gonna win that one. All right. So you got it. 1-0 starting off the season. Quite a theatrical show there. I like that one. There you go. The coin toss to start the season. All right. The next 3 games being at home. Let's go September 7th against Charlotte.
Time out. Pause. Are you not picking?
No. I'm going after you. I told you go first.
Oh, I just thought it was like, picking, like me pick, you pick, you, me pick, you pick, me pick, you pick. Each game.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So you're
go ahead.
Like, so I'm doing the whole thing. So I'm gonna have a whole 12-0, and you're gonna just sit there and laugh at me. Okay. So we're winning Central. We're winning 49ers. We're winning JMU.
Okay, so you got us 4-0. All right, 4-0 to start the season right there. That's pretty doggone good. On the road, September 28th against Duke. Manny Diaz in the team. What you thinking about that?
Connor Harrell makes his first start, and we lose.
What? For real?
No.
I was getting ready to say, oh, my God. Like, that just goes against everything you've told me during the season.
Max Johnson still at the helm, and I think we win that one. Manny Diaz is not a very good coach.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how that's. I mean, that's like us bringing back Gene Chizik. Anyway, neither here nor there. At home against Pitt, October 5th. At Narduzzi and the crew.
I think Pitt is still a dumpster fire, and North Carolina wins.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I could see that as well. All right, the curse has arrived in Chapel Hill. Georgia Tech arrives October 12th. Haynes King and the crew, probably the best offense you're going to be seeing to the time. What do you think?
I pick North Carolina to win these games all the time.
I do too. This is right. This is the curse. This is right here is the curse. That's why I titled that in the college football revamp video.
But I mean, how do you not pick North Carolina to win?
I mean, simply for the last 3 seasons. I mean, outside of that, not you really can't.
I guess I'm just going to trust that Jeff Collins actually fields the defense. I'm going to take a win. I'm going to say North Carolina beats Haynes King and gets that monkey off her back when North Carolina is undefeated against Georgia Tech and always loses.
Yeah.
Hopefully a broken clock's right 2 times a day. So hopefully I get it right this time. That's hard.
One in 4 years, hopefully. 1 in 4 years. Absolutely. Well, North Carolina takes a little road trip. I think they have a bye week there, and then they have the road trip to Charlottesville, Virginia, October 26th against the Who's, the guys that knocked off North Carolina last year when they were 6-0.
Mac Brown is not good in Virginia. Virginia's not good anywhere. I'll take another win. This is starting to look like North Carolina's winning a lot more than losing this year.
Oh man, look at you go there. So hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-0 going into the I think there's a bye week again, and then you get on the road to Florida State November 2nd, going down to the Doak against Mike Norvell and the squad.
Oh, you might as well pencil in that win. We're gonna be chopping all the way back to Chapel Hill, baby.
You'll be breaking the bricks.
I'm telling you, we're chopping all the way back to Chapel Hill.
So you've got the win.
No, we're losing.
Okay. Never mind. 8-1 on the fresh young season. All right. That's gonna be an interesting game. Tell me quick thoughts on that game. How you think that game might go?
So honestly, I'm picking North Carolina. You got to find some losses in the schedule because North Carolina is never going to go undefeated, even against the cupcake schedule that this is. If Drake May was still quarterback at UNC, I would definitely pick UNC to be undefeated in this season.
That's big.
But hey, guess what, guys? He's not.
He did just make his first touchdown tonight too.
Yeah, he ran
a couple of dimes that were dropped.
He ran it. I saw. He had a nice little 5-6 yard scamper to the right side into the end zone. But whatever. He's a pro now.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I can see North Carolina winning it because last time I seen DJ Uyunglele, he couldn't hit a trash can from 5 yards. With a football.
He was my favorite quarterback in the ACC championship for the 2 series he played.
And Florida State's lost a lot of their key pieces on the offensive end. I don't know how they look defensively. Blah blah blah. Whatever. North Carolina's still going to lose, but it could they could possibly win. But I'm just not picking them to win. I'm a root for them to win.
Say what now?
I'm gonna root for them to win.
Oh, absolutely, man.
But I don't
want to have that whole. What year was that when they did the chop all the way back back to the end zone? What year was that? I cannot remember that year.
Good I was on a field goal.
Yeah, I mean you'd love to see that happen because that would be amazing. But I could see Avenues North Carolina winning. I'll give my thoughts, opinions on it right here in just a few minutes. But yeah, interesting game right there. So you got 8-1 going back home to Wake Forest against the Demon Deacons.
I'm going to that game, and that's a win because I'm going to be there.
Oh, because you're going to be there.
Yep, 2016.
I'll be there with you. 2016
on a 54-yard field goal.
That's right.
Number 12 FSU.
That's right. That was a flipping cool moment. I'd love to see that happen.
But that was
Elijah Huzzy catches like an interception and runs it back for like a game-winning touchdown. He's doing that all the way back. That would be absolutely crazy. All right, here's a tricky game. This is a fun one. November 23rd, going to Boston College against Castellanos.
Yeah, everybody says it's Boston College and it's cold, but I just don't know how good Boston College is. So
that quarterback is really good. Not gonna lie, like that he is a bright young star, and they've got some skill possessions. That's for sure. It's my trap game outside of Georgia Tech. It is my big time trap game of the season, personally.
I think everybody's getting this one wrong. I think North Carolina's going to go win this game.
All right, man. So you've got us currently 10-1 going into probably, in my opinion, the biggest game of the season. At home, 3-year losing streak against NC Fake, the Wolf Packers, on November the 30th. What do you got? I see it coming. Go ahead.
North Carolina ain't losing in that shit.
I thought you was getting ready to give me the Klay Thompson. The 4 in a row. Oh my gosh. You had me worried. Holy cow. An 11-1 season from the pessimistic Allen Mitten. Holy cow. That is amazing, bro. Holy folks. Oh man, I have actually thought about going to that game, as a matter of fact, that NC State game. That's gonna be a tough game. Holy smokes, man. That is, look at you go. I am proud of you.
I got fired up.
So, okay, let me ask you, 11-1, where is North Carolina sitting in the postseason idea?
I guess it depends on what Florida State and NC and Clemson do.
Miami as well. I know that it's Miami and Miami folds, but they do have a good team over there. They finally have a quarterback, I think, because I was never a big fan of Van Dyke at all. But you know, that Cam Ward kid, if they can get that thing together, man, that's going to be an interesting year. This is honestly, to me, I feel like we're looking at Carolina's schedule back in 22, like Drake's first year. Like, this is crazy at how just relatively easy this thing is, quite frankly. So yeah, wow, congratulations on you. So I guess now the time is it's time for me. Roll the ball into the other court. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait for this. I'm not gonna lie, this has been hard for me to pick. I'm not gonna lie, because last year I did pick the 12-0 last year. I did pick, and I thought the Clemson game was the game that if you're gonna lose one, you're gonna lose that one. And
you picked 12-0 last year.
I did. I said, why not? And they should have. And quite frankly, in my opinion, they should have. And honestly, I think personally, we don't know if Jeff Collins was that defensive coordinator last year. Who knows? Tell me how not.
Safeties were terrible.
Well, that is true. Safeties have always been a problem. That is for sure. Again, now we don't know if that's scheme and system or if that is players. We don't know, and we're gonna find out a lot this year, especially with guys like Des Evans and Travis Shaw. That's just gonna be two right there. They're gonna be put out there immediately, and you're gonna find out if system, because they've been talking about, hey, we're free, all that good stuff. But is it system or is it player? We're gonna find out very quickly. I mean, really looking forward to that. Ted Monachino did a press conference. It was uploaded today on Tar Heel Illustrated. Really good. He feels like they can go 14 deep on the D line. 14 guys. Just think about that for a minute. Like holy cow. Like Jeff says 10. He says, no, that's a little low. I say 14. Jesus Christ. Boy, I would love if that happens for North Carolina, then we should be ACC contenders at that point in time. Anyway, that's just me. All right, back to August 29th, Minnesota. A couple of weeks away. Are you ready? I think it's going to be a fun game, interesting game. I think it's going to be one that, Carolina's got to go out there and they are going to have to go win. This is not going to be as easy as it was last year. I know the score was 31-13. Defense is going to have to play really good. and offense is really going to show out. But I just don't see North Carolina losing this game. I could be completely wrong. Same thing with South Carolina last year. I couldn't see North Carolina losing that game, but you never know. It could happen potentially. So I got North Carolina going in on a win, going into Minnesota, getting a big time win, and really boosting some confidence for them going into their next 3 games, which I do have wins against Charlotte and NC Central and a very interesting JMU. I think that game right there is going to be a fun one. I'll be there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that game goes, especially in the first half. That's a game that North Carolina should go out there and go win, but I have a feeling it's going to be that of a similarity to what App State's been to us over the past couple of years, just a team that just doesn't want to die. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be fun, though. And the storyline with George Pettaway being there, that'll be fun, too. So looking forward to that. North Carolina going up to the Wade Wackos in over there at Wade Wallace Stadium with Manny Diaz. You're winning that thing, man. That'd be 6 years with the victory bell. You're ringing that bell coming out of Duke, man.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
A lot of people think that Duke is going to beat North Carolina. A lot of people have it picked. I mean, a lot of like smart people in the college football industry are like, oh yeah, North Carolina's going to lose to Duke. I mean, you can never say never. It is a rivalry game, but I do not foresee that happening at all. I think North Carolina is a much better team than Duke, and they lost a lot of guys, and they're having to figure all that out. I understand they got Malik Murphy out of Texas, all good and grand. But I got North Carolina taking care of the Blue Devils. Then North Carolina takes on Pitt October 5th. I have to agree with you. I don't think Pitt is there yet. This is a much different team than what we saw a few years ago with Kenny Pickett and the crew that won the ACC championship. That was a fairly well-rounded team there. And I know Pitt has been a game that has been physical and back and forth, and it has its moments, especially in the first half where it's a back and forth game. But I ultimately think, Carolina's been able to win by 20 the past couple of years. I don't see how that changes this year. They still are not that good on the skill positions, and they got a lot of question marks out there. Defense is going to be, physical, nasty, all that fun stuff we always talk about. But outside of that, dude, I don't see us losing that game, especially us being at home. And you're coming in 5-0 at that time, off a win, victory bell, everything else. Crowd's getting into it by this time. Fans are excited. I feel like we're getting going at this point in time. So, 6-0, Carolina beats Pitt. Then you got Georgia Tech coming to the house, to the crib. The last time that me and you went to a game inside of Keenan was this game a couple of years ago when we were 9-1. That was the last time we went to a game together inside of Keenan. Outside of that, it's just been Charlotte. Think about that for a second. And we saw Josh Downs right there in front of us drop a football. We lost that game 9-2, and everything fell apart from after that. I'm not going to lie. Georgia Tech's going to be one of the better teams that we're going to see this year just on the regular season schedule. I have them probably ranked 3rd outside of FSU State and them, and then I have Minnesota as a close 3rd to them. If I was ranking them, they're going to be the best offense that we've saw to that point, and most polished. Are going to have half the season down, 6 games down, and Haynes King and the crew are going to be running. I think this is a team that Georgia Tech ultimately throughout their schedule. I think this is going to be a better team than what their schedule or what their record will say at the end of the year. But I think this is, the year you have to get Georgia Tech. You almost got them last year. You should have had them last year. You should have had them the year before.
You almost had
right, but you've consistently. This is where the depth and the style of play is really going to be tested because Georgia Tech has had to come back and score 2-3 touchdowns in order to win these games against North Carolina. If Carolina is going to be the well-balanced offense and defense together playing complementary football, there won't be any time to allow that. So I feel like North Carolina can get the lead, and I feel like they'll keep it. Georgia Tech, they finally slay that dragon, but I do think it's going to take some fourth quarter heroics to get it done. Not saying heroics, but some fourth quarter plays that it's going to take to win that football game, because I think you got to give respect to Georgia Tech. They're really good, and they can still beat Carolina if Carolina's not careful. Carolina goes up to Charlottesville October 26th. This is a game I've actually thought about going to. As we know, a couple of guys that we know up there, a part of the Cavalier connection, who we'll have on the show for the scouting report when that game is coming on. Thought about going up there and maybe hanging out with them a little bit. Cool dudes. But Tony Elliott has got that team, and they're searching. They really are. Curious to see what their quarterback's going to be like. I think he'll be decent. One of the former wide receivers, and Andre Green, is up there now. So be curious to see if he gets much run against Carolina next this upcoming season right here. I think this is going to be a fun back and forth game. It's going to be obviously high intensity and everything, just because of it being the oldest rivalry in the South or whatever that is. I think North Carolina gets that win as well. So what are we, 6? I'm 8-0. 8-0, just like you, buddy.
Jesus Christ. What are we doing with our lives?
I'm about to say NC State. Florida State. Florida State. Oh, I hope you eat them like steak. That's for sure.
Can I get that medium rare, sir?
Florida State, man. I don't know how much of this game I'm going to be able to watch, because I can't stand the whole. I can't do all that chopping nonsense. I can't stand it. That's just one of like a. I think this game is going to be a fairly close game. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is going to be a very fairly close game, depending on offensive line. If offensive line is not very good within the first few weeks, it will not be a very close game, because that D line on Florida State is elite. That is for sure. They've got some edge rushers, and they've got some D linemen that are for real. I think the strength of their defense, or the strength of their team, is going to be their defense by far. Their offense has taken a much far step back, in my opinion. And we still don't know what DJ is, really, quite frankly. Be curious to see how he does. But it's going to be a close game, but I just have to think that the reigning ACC champions, who will be a pretty good team this year, are going to get that win over North Carolina. I believe that there could be an upset if Carolina is the team that we hear. But am I banking on it? No, honestly not. Would love to have that, though. So 8-1 going back home to Wake Forest. The Hill brothers are going to be there, brother. You got it wrong. You said you were going to be there. Bro. That love you to death. But it's the Hill brothers are going to be there. We both going to be there. We're going to be having a good time. We're going to be doing live streams. We're going to be having a fun time walking the streets of Franklin Street. We might have to go check out Raising Cane's. Take you to Raising Cane's for the first time. Well, you might do that if you go to Charlotte as well. Who knows? You got to do the Raising Cane's. You got to go walk all the stores. You got to go to Shrunkenhead. You got to go to Chapel Hill Sportswear. You got to go to Alumni Hall. You got to go to, I forget the other guy, super cool.
Johnny T-shirt.
I was saving that one for last. Johnny T-shirt, because I always hit it on the back end, and then pick you up a coffee from Chapel Hill, a coffee shop over there. Really good stuff, man. I'm telling you, good stuff. Carolina obviously is going to whoop up on the Demon Deacons. They have lost a lot. It's amazing to see how. And I think North Carolina fans have to be be thankful that Carolina is, the team that we have had. They've been consistently winning, because look at Pitt, look at Wake Forest, look how far they've dropped in just a couple of years. Wake Forest is a team that was in the top 10 a couple seasons ago. They're searching for wins at this point in time. Pittsburgh, they're ACC champions a couple years ago, searching for it. Pitt and Wake Forest played in the ACC title a couple years ago. Let's just think about this for a second. So, Carolina gets that win, and they're 9-1 going into Boston College. This is my trap game. Boston College is going to be excited. I think this team's going to be bowl eligible, probably 7 wins by this point in time. Could they be more? Yeah, I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, though. So it kind of depends on the difficulty of their schedule. Actually, you know what? Do that really quick. Look up their schedule real quick, and just see how many hard games they've got this year. Castellanos, I think, is going to be a good football player for them, and I think Boston College has got a got a good schedule. What is it? What their schedule hard?
Boston College, September 2nd, at Florida State.
Go down the list.
Week 2, they get the bye week and wait, hold on. This daggum thing is okay. Here we go. I'm back on September 2nd. They play Florida State at Florida State. Duquesne comes to town. They go to number 11, Missouri.
That's going to be there. Yeah, you're going to get whooped in Missouri.
On the 14th. The 21st, Michigan State comes to Boston College.
I don't know how good Michigan State's going to be. That should be an even matchup.
West Kentucky University comes to Boston College on the 28th. Boston College at Virginia. Boston College at Virginia Tech. Louisville comes to Boston College. Syracuse comes to Boston College. Boston College goes to SMU. North Carolina comes to Boston College. Boston College ends the regular season with a home game against Pittsburgh.
About 7 wins, 6-7 wins there, 6-7 wins, give or take. Because you're probably not beating Florida State, Louisville, Missouri. That's Louisville, Florida State, Missouri. There was one more in there that I counted as an L. Who the heck was
Syracuse,
it?
SMU.
SMU might be good. That could be a toss-up game. That could be a toss-up game.
It's at SMU also.
I'll go ahead and put the 4th one in there. So right there's your, what is that, 8-4? Yeah.
Well, that's 12. So, 8 plus 4 is 12.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's their hardest games, then I'd say probably 8-4. Maybe 7 wins, depending on, I forget exactly the whole schedule. But yeah, 7, somewhere from 6 to 8 wins probably for Boston College. That's going to be a hard one right there for North Carolina. And who do they have the week before? And are they at home or?
No, they go to SMU before they play North Carolina at home.
Ooh, yeah, that makes it even more of a trap game, especially if they lose that game. Because they're going to be excited coming back home. So that's going to be tough, man. And I don't think
that's a lot of travel.
North Carolina, it's a great warm-up game for what you got coming the next week. That's for sure. It's going to be in the cold. I'm nervous about that. Because Carolina's not used to playing in the cold. I really hope in that indoor practice facility they can really crank the temperatures down like Miami did I think it was actually last season when they were going to Kansas City. They cranked the temperatures down to where it was be like freezing, where it would be that game temp. So, that's a tough one.
I mean,
I'm Carolina to pull it out.
I'm thinking Michigan. I'm thinking Boston College could be 1-3 in the first 4 games of the season.
I don't know about that Michigan State game. That'll be
number 10, number 11.
Yeah,
you're probably losing those 2, and then Michigan State comes to town. I mean, that's Big Ten football.
Yeah, it kind of depends on Boston College's team as a whole, but I think I honestly feel like Boston College will get them because Michigan State has not been the Michigan State of old, and I think
Tony Grimes is on that team.
So what?
Tony Grimes is on Michigan State.
That really doesn't. I mean, that kind of furthers my point. At that,
that's still the deal.
Feel bad about on the guy, but at the same time, you got to call it like it is, bro. All right, the big time home game.
Then they go to Virginia. Then they go to Virginia Tech. You know that Virginia Tech team.
Virginia Tech. That's the game that I'm thinking of. That's the game I'm thinking. They're losing that game. Virginia Tech's gonna be a good ball club this year.
I mean, we could be literally be 1-4, 2-5.
Yeah. They could. Yeah, absolutely could. I would pick that they would have anywhere from 6 to 8 wins by the time the season's over with. After playing about 6 to 8 wins, somewhere in that region, they'll definitely be bowl eligible, in my opinion. So you got the big home game against NC State. This is a game that is probably the most evenly matched these two teams have been. NC State has really hung their hat on defense. North Carolina's really hung their hat on offense over the last few years. Defense has been the thing that has won out. Now they got a quarterback in Grayson McCall. I like the guy a lot. I liked him at Coastal. I thought he was a great quarterback down there at Coastal. I thought he did a great job. And now he's going up to NC State. You would assume at this point in time that might be a little bit of difference, but by the time these two teams face, they're going to be seasoned, everything else, taking injuries out of it completely. This is a game that Carolina can definitely lose.
So
why in God's green earth would I pick the Wolfpack to win this game? Absolutely not. Give me the 11-1 season, and I still feel like somewhere along the way, Clemson's going. I think Clemson will make it to the ACC championship. I do. I really believe that. I think Florida State's the team that doesn't make it. I think they're a 9-10 win team. And if that's the case, and North Carolina's only lost, if they're a 10-win team in North Carolina and they've lost to another ACC school at that, they do play Georgia Tech to open up the season in and was it Ireland they're playing this year? Something like that.
Wow.
Quite frankly, watch that game. I think, and I kind of said this. Now I could be eating these words. I really don't care. It's a season predictor. Screw it. Here we go. Here comes the optimist in me. I told my buddy
August 24th, Georgia. They play Georgia Tech.
Not this weekend, but the following. Yeah. So I've already told my buddy. I said I got this weird feeling in my mind and in my gut that North Carolina will meet Clemson in Charlotte for the ACC championship again.
Bro, I just realized for the second time that Georgia beat Florida State 63-3.
Yeah, look at the depth charts on that.
Wow.
One. Yeah, I honestly, yeah.
Okay, so Florida State is Georgia Tech, Boston College, Memphis, California. California's coming here. They go to SMU. They play Clemson on the October 5th. They go to Duke. They go to Miami. We come to town. They play Notre Dame, Charleston Southern, Florida. Notre Dame ranked 7th.
Yeah, Notre Dame's always ranked high, just like Penn State. Penn State's always put up there, but they always fold. It just seems to be what it is. What do you think, dude? Both of us got the 11-1 season. Tell me why you picked 11-1. What you think about it, bro? Tell me about it.
Sounds like we smoked crack before we did this podcast. 11-1 for the UNC.
This episode is brought to you by Coke Zero. Not because they sponsor us, but because we sponsor them.
Hey, free ad. It's a soft schedule.
It is.
2.5 games that are difficult. Florida State, NC State, and the half game is Minnesota. Well, you give it 3 difficult games on the schedule.
Give me, I say 4.
I don't think Boston College is difficult.
I just think it could be at that point in time in the season. And purely, I say that because we're going there. Purely because we're going there.
But if there's ever a schedule to do it, this is the schedule to do it.
Yep.
You get
at worst. Let's say at worst, this team not 11-1 at its floor, if you will, for you.
So if we're talking floor, that means you're losing Florida State, you're losing NC State, and then you drop the game to Duke. That's the floor.
So not losing to Minnesota or Georgia Tech, but Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So 9-3. Basically 9-3 is your floor with losses to State, FSU, Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine a day that Mac Brown loses to not only one rival, but to 2? Good God.
Then to blow it up and start over would be Minnesota, Duke, Florida State, NC State. And God forbid we lose to Virginia or Georgia Tech. And then it's over.
Yeah. Mac 2.0 will be done. Mac 2.0 will be
Over.
done at that point in time. Yeah, I honestly have to say that my floor for North Carolina is sitting at, you're going to hate to hear it, 8-4.
I mean, they set the over/under on wins for UNC at 7.5.
Yep, 7.5. I remember because I posted that to our community page. But yeah, the losses for me in that would come to Minnesota, Georgia Tech, Florida State, NC State. I'm picking 11-1. You're rolling 11-1. I think our floors are pretty. I had one more lost, 8-4, and yours a 9-3. And I think it's going to be a very fun year. Let us know what you think down there in the comments below. Tell us, do you agree with us? Do you have some differences? Do you think some wins could come? Did you pick the magical 12-0 season? Tell us. Let us know down in the comments below.
I hope not.
Dude, I mean, in all actuality, could you see it?
If Drake May was quarterback.
Who knows what Mac Johnson might be? He might be good enough. Good enough. He might be good enough to get it done. Who knows? We'll see. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to.
Could you imagine if Max Johnson just come out and just Joe Burrowed it and threw for 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns and just smoking the cigar in the locker room? Yeah, you sons of B words. You know I showed up.
Dude,
I showed up.
That I would. He would be put on my wall. He'd be put on the wall. He 100% would be. Especially considering how the fan base has kind of treated him coming in, kind of like, oh, he's the outsider. Let's go Connor Harrell, but you're the outsider, whatever. Could you
Max
imagine?
Johnson throws for 3,020 touchdowns. North Carolina is undefeated, and he wins the Heisman.
I was about to say, he'd be in the Heisman conversation, ACC Player of the Year. Oh, my God. It would be absolutely flipping ridiculous. That would be amazing.
And he just comes over yeah. I came from the SEC where we really play football. This is Pop Warner, what y'all doing over here.
Oh, my God. I cannot wait for Minnesota.
For all you ACC enthusiasts out there.
Yeah, good Lord. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.
Woohoo, go Heels.